beauties, welcome back to my channel. Ashley here. If you're new, welcome. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and join the beauty family. So today's glam, honey, I'm going out to a dinner with some of my old colleagues. So if you'd like to see how I slayed this glam from start to finish, keep watching. Hi beauties, so I'm headed out with my colleagues, honey. Almost all of us left the job, but we still make time on a monthly basis to hang out. So let's get glam. So I'm thinking pink today. Okay, I'm wearing a denim dress and some floral kitten heels. So I think I'm gonna dive into like a few palettes. I have the Beauty Bay Reckless Romance palette. You know this would not be a tutorial with my good sis Danessa. That should be no surprise. So definitely the Lightwork 6 palette. And I think I'm gonna go into a little bit of this Huda Beauty, just like these shades, just to blend out into the crease. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of the Huda and the Beauty Bay, just to get like that perfect pinkish crease. I think I might go for like a cranberry-ish pink smoky eye. We'll see what we come up with. I'm gonna dive into a brush that already has some of those crease colors in there, and then I'm going to go into that shade Rebel in the Beauty Bay palette. I'm going to go into this shade Rebel in the Beauty Bay palette. So we're going to add her in the crease with a smidge of that reddish brown. I know the last time I was running a little late to brunch, honey. This time I am not running late. Let's not all clap at once. But yes, beauty, so I'm just putting this in my crease and I'm just doing windshield wiper motions back and forth. Because I really wanted the crease to be a little pink, so you know everything kind of flows together. But also blending it in with that reddish brown just to make it a little unique. So yes, beauties, do you all still keep in contact with some old colleagues? I will say, not everybody gets the pleasure of keeping in contact with me. You know, I feel like if we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we don't. But generally, you know, I really am just a person that just gets along with everyone. But for these, love them, love them, love them, love them to pieces. And I'm so glad that we've been able to, you know, continue to keep this consistent. Alrighty, beauties, so I think I'm going to dive into a little bit of Affair and Paparazzi. So this is Affair and Paparazzi, these two shades. We're going to pop that, oh my gosh, I got my nail in the black. We're going to pop that in the outer V. Let's see what we come up with, because we're going for like a little smoky since it is at night. We are going to like a Greek restaurant. Mediterranean food for me. I did go to one place in Brooklyn. It was down by the water. Honestly, it's so bad that I have to say this, but it was too healthy. I just need a little bit more grease, honey. I need something fried, okay? So that place specifically, maybe not. This place is in Astoria. I think it's called Nasa Taverna, but I heard the food is really good. One of my girls is a regular there, so she said, let's try it out. So I said, why not? So yeah, we're all gonna meet up and go grab some food. Just popping those colors right in the outer V. I'm just sweeping them in against my lash line. I'm gonna continue to pop those two colors, because I really just want to create a little bit more depth there, but still keep it in the color family. So yes, beauties, how is the summer treating you all? So I'm just going ahead and I'm using a fluffy brush that I use in my crease just to blend out the edges. Taking a look at how this is looking, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Paparazzi. And I'm just tapping it right here just to create a little bit more depth. Just stamping it there. The Lightwork 6 palette, if you have not seen my review on this, please do so. So I'm gonna go into this section right here. Honestly, I think I might mix maybe like these two shades and go from there. And we're just going to place them together and just pop them right on the lid. Because all of this together kind of just creates like its own shade. And then you can go back in with the shades individually and you can kind of just add them where you'd like. So you can start with some in the front. That's the beauty of this palette. So I added one shade there, another kind of behind it. and that purple. Kind of rounding out that edge there. And then I'm gonna go in and blend for my life. So I'm gonna go in with that brush that I use in my crease to blend out those shades, transition shades in my crease. And now I'm just blending out the edges of these shimmers so that they can all blend together. They all look married. And there are no harsh lines. I'm gonna add a pinch of that purplish silver in that section. This looks so stunning. Love it. So I just popped this color right in the crease, and then I mixed these three. Together. So that's essentially how we achieved this look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to tap the same brush that I used to smoke out the outer V, and I'm just tapping it gently around those shimmers and the outer V, just so everything can look fused and put together. So now, beauties, you already know what time it is. We need to throw in our own nasty lash, but this is the eye look, and I'm just going to smudge out my lash line and then pop on some lashes. This is the eye after we threw in our own nasty lash. So this is, of course, the Lily lashes, so extra Mykonos lashes. That you only get on sale. So yes, and by the way, if you hear my air conditioner, you know it's hot outside. So we already primed off camera, so you know I already went in with my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm in Universal. So now we are going to go in with the foundation. I think I'm going to do my MAC Studio Radiance Serum Powered Foundation, and this is an NC50. If we are shade twins, I am NC50 in MAC. I love this foundation. So I'm going to go in with like 2.5 pumps, only because when it pumped out, it really didn't give a full. But this foundation is stunning. It's so pretty. I've really been trying to stay out of the sun because I have been like really working on my skin, really trying to get rid of my dark marks, but mostly because, yeah, you know, when you're working on your skin, if you're doing like any peels, things like that, you know, you really want to stay away from the sun. So that is essentially why. But I feel like the skin is looking good. It's really about staying consistent and really getting into a good routine. So I did get some new products, so I think I might make an updated video on like what I'm doing. But overall, the skin is looking good. This foundation is so gorgeous. I think I'm gonna go in with just a half a pump. I know, like, I'm obsessed. I think there's just a part of me that it's just like the urge to do full coverage. So this is the coverage. This foundation looks so beautiful. So now we're gonna go in with concealer. So for concealer, you know I am going in with my Dynamic Duo, my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer in NY12, and my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer in 14. So I'm gonna start with 14 first to give us just like that even base under the under eye. To where every Danessa Myricks product just like hits. Like, girl. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out this shade just to get that under eye even, and then I am going to add the Natasha Denona concealer on top and then just allow that to hang out. But really, I just wanted to get like an even base under the under eye. So now we're going in with the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I'm gonna add this for some brightness. So we're just gonna let this hang out. So now let cream contour or liquid contour, if you know where I'm going. So we are going in with the Rare Beauty. This is the liquid contour in Tranquil. This is really nice. I really like this. There is a new liquid bronzer on the market right now. Let me know if you all want me to try it out. It's by Natasha Denona. It looks really nice, but I'm not sure because I already have this and hers comes in a pump. But if you all would like me to review that, please let me know. So I'm just going in with a brush and we're just gonna go ahead and blend out this cream bronzer contour, and then we're gonna catch the forehead and blend this out. This is really just like a beautiful product. Like, Selena, girl, you did that. And it's looking like we're gonna be on time today. So I was aiming to leave the house at like 6 or a little bit earlier. Well, I was really aiming to leave at like 5:30, but I might not. So maybe like 5:45, we'll see. Because it's 5:18 right now and I'm like almost done. So now that we blended out that liquid contour, let's go ahead and blend out this concealer. I'm using a brush. It does give really good coverage. I'm gonna catch my chin, and also I'm gonna place a little bit underneath my contour, really just to sharpen up right underneath my cheekbones. I'm gonna go ahead and blend right underneath my nose, just the areas that I use to highlight, where the focus tends to be. So now I'm gonna go ahead with my triangle sponge and I'm just going to press that in for my liquid bronzer, and I'm just gonna make sure that we did not lose it. Also, adding a little bit of that concealer underneath it will really help to sharpen it up, just to make it look more sculpted. And then I'm gonna go right back in with my foundation brush just to make sure everything is seamless. I'm just really just double tapping and going over everything. Okay, so now that that's done, it's time to set. This should be of no surprise. We are going in with the Makeup by Mario. This is the Surreal Skin Soft Blur Setting Powder in number 4, Warm Honey. I'm just gonna go right back and just make sure that everything under the under eye is blended, because I do have fine lines. And now we're gonna go in with the puff, and of course, you know, I always put the excess on the back of my hand and I go in and set. And I set my smile lines along with that. Go ahead and set the forehead, smile lines, and the chin. This powder is gorgeous. But you know what though? I do want to add a little razzle dazzle. So I'm just gonna pop this like right in the center. So I have my Danessa Myricks Color Fix sparklers, and this is in Flare. I'm just gonna add a pinch of this. Just a pinch, right like in the center of the lid. I really feel like this is just gonna add that razzle dazzle. It's so pretty. I'm just gonna add it like right here. Ah, that is so pretty. Like, look at that. So stunning. For a powder, you know, we are going in with the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in 65 Toffee. My good girl. So now we're just gonna put this all over so that we can get an even canvas. I did hear that Sephora was reformulating a few things, so I'm glad I snatched up some of the lip liners beforehand, because y'all just go ahead and do stuff without asking. I mean, they have been doing that for a while, brands in general, but it's just getting worse. You know, when things start to go on sale, I immediately start buying them, because I'm just like, yeah, it's looking like they're going to be reformulated, and 9 out of 10 we might not even like the reformulation. So when you see things go on sale, act suspicious. So for face powder, I'm going with my Fenty. This is Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation in 410. These are on sale too, so if I were you, I would get some. Now they start to, you know. So these run a little bit deep, so I'm 420 generally, but 410 is my powder shade. So I'm just gonna go in and apply this all over. This is gonna help to even everything out. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury. This is my Airbrush Flawless Powder in shade number 3. She's gonna help to tie everything together. So this goes under my under eyes. You always want to set your under eye powder with a pressed powder. It just gives it a little bit more flawlessness. So I'm gonna go in with this powder and set what's already there. It just really takes it there for me. So for bronzer, I think I'm going to go in with my CoverGirl Ebony Bronze Bronzer. So we're diving in. I cannot wait for them to come back out with this. I'm really just putting it out there. I know it's not happening, but you know. Oh, this is like the best one on the market. I really cannot believe I did not take enough advantage. Now that we've bronzed, I'm just gonna go in and blend everything together with my powder brush just to make sure everything is seamless. Now I am going to come back for some blush, some highlight, and a lip. Alrighty beauties, so now we are back. So now let's look for a blush. I think, you know what, we might just do a neutral blush since the eyes have a pop, and you know we're going for a little bit of color with the lip. So I'm going to go into my blush from Urban Decay. This is the blush called Situationship. She is absolutely stunning. You already know she looks like a sister, cousin, first cousin, all the above to the blushes that I have. And I'm just gonna go in with my brush that I had my powder bronzer on, just to make sure that we are all blended. So for highlight, we are going in with a Max Gold Deposit. So we're gonna add this on the nose. The usual, honey, we have hit pan. We're still continuing to hit pan. I will say you don't really ever need to buy another one. Ready? So now for a lip, I think I'm gonna go in with a little something different. I'm gonna try a little bit of Night Moth, just a little bit of a plum, and let's see how this turns out. So that's Night Moth, and now we're going in with Flesh Pot by MAC. Honestly, I have been loving this lipstick. I have not been able to put her down. You know what? I can't be the only one that mixes up Vino and Night Moth, because that's what happened here. So I just went in and added a little bit of Malt Lip Liner by Anastasia Beverly Hills, just to round that out and even it out a little bit. And I think I'm gonna go with a gloss. I'm gonna go in with Please Me Gloss by MAC. I'm just gonna add this right on top. So yes, beauties, this is the finished glam. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial as much as I did, as always. As always, beauties, everything will be listed for you down below. Don't forget to shop for my links, support your girl's channel, help you make a little coin. And as always, beauties, thank you so much for your continued love and support, and I'll catch you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Until next time.